Hi, I'm Tracy from the Anna Sewing Cat, and I'm going to do just a little tutorial on getting to know your sewing machine. I appreciate we're all going to be working on different sewing machines, but don't worry, a lot of these things I'm going to be teaching you will cover over all different machines. And feel free to message us, email us, asking different questions that you may have regarding your machines. I'm going to work on a brother machine today. Most brother machines are going to be the same. So just to give you a general overview, when you've got your machine out of the box, which is very exciting, congratulations if it's a new machine to you, you're going to take your mains lead out and plug that one into the side and obviously to the main switch. The brother machines will also come with a foot pedal. Now it's up to you, you can use the foot pedal when you're sewing as we normally do on a traditional sewing machine, but if you prefer not to, all the machines will have a speed control on the front here now that you can use. So we can use the start stop at the bottom, and then we can use this to control our speed if you prefer not to use the foot pedal. If you want to use the foot pedal, just plug it in. There's a little space on the back and you just plug that straight in, and now we can operate it using the foot pedal. I'm just going to pop that one down on the floor. Okay, so on a machine like this, which is part of the FS range, if you've got any of the FS machines, they're going to work in a very similar way to this one. The spool holder at the back just pops over like that, and the really nice thing is that we can hold our spool cap on the back. So when you get your machines, this is what holds our thread on. You're going to get 3 different sizes usually that come with your machine. Just keep the medium one there, that's the one you can use most of the time, and you can use that for storage there. So when you're packing your machine away, that will just fold back, and when you're using it, pop it open like that. So I'm going to take the spool cap off, and we're going to grab some thread. Now these machines are going to work with all sorts of thread, so it's up to you what thread you like to use. I tend to use a moon thread. It's 100% polyester thread, which means it's really strong. It's not got any natural fibres tend to have natural flaws in them like cotton and things. So I tend to use this one because I find it's really strong. Works really well through the machines. So I'm going to pop the cotton on there, and then I'm just going to put a little spool cap on the end and that'll hold that thread in. So the first thing we want to do is to wind a bobbin. So the sewing machines like this work from having 2 threads. One that's going to come from the top, and then one that's going to come from the bobbin at the bottom. On these machines we have a nice drop-in bobbin. Some of the old-fashioned ones have them at the front. They're a bit clunky and a bit awkward, but yeah, anything that's got a drop-in bobbin will work the same way as I'm going to show you on here. Now with Brother, we've got really simple guides. On the top here, you can probably see it's all numbered. So we're going to follow the line. So the dotted line is the one that we're going to use to wind the bobbin. And then the solid line is what we're going to use to thread the main machines. So we can just follow the numbers along there. To start with, I'm going to pop the bobbin on the top here. Now it is important, I do say to people, do try and keep to the same bobbins that come with the machine. So if you're using a Brother machine, do use the Brother bobbins. They are very cheap to buy. They're going to come with, I think it's 4 or 5 bobbins you get with your machine. So do try and stick to those because you know they're going to work well, eliminate any issues you may have. So I'm just going to follow the steps around because first I need to wind the bobbin. So I put a little through that clip there, and I'm just following the diagram and the lines that are on top. When it comes to this wheel, any machine you're using will have this little tension wheel. Do just give it a little pull and just make sure, because that you can feel the tension. And then I'm going to wind it around here. I'm going to do it a few times. Another nice little trick is in there is a little thread cutter. Those little gaps here, if I just pop my thread through there, pull it off, it cuts the end of the thread off for you, which is really nice, gives you a nice and neat finish. So that's what those blades are that are in there. Then to work it, we follow the last step, which is to push it across like that, and then we just put our foot on the pedal, and you'll see this machine is winding a really nice bobbin. On the front here was our speed control, so I'm going to speed that right up for the bobbin winding process and let that machine wind that bobbin. What you want is a really nice even wind, and as you can see, this machine is automatically doing this for us. So the thread is going up and down, and it's making it a really nice evenly wound bobbin, and that means that we're going to get nice even stitches. You can stop whenever you want to. If you want to wind the bobbin to the fullest, just leave it. It will hit this little buffer here and it will automatically stop. I always say to people, do only keep 1 thread on the bobbin at a time, because otherwise the second colour that you put over the top won't be able to get the same tension as at the beginning, and you can guarantee the colour you want will be in the middle anyway. So I'm going to take that off. I'm going to use that little cutter again that's in there, that little blade, just to cut the end off like that. So our bobbin is now wound. When we look at the bobbin, we can see that's really nicely tightly wound. You should be able to put your nail in it and it will bounce just a little bit. You don't want it saggy. Saggy bobbins are not going to give you a nice even stitch, so make sure that you've got it nicely wound like that. Any problems, it may be that we haven't got it clipped right around that tension wheel, like that. Okay, then we're going to thread the main sewing machine. So I'm just going to pull it out of all of those because that was just for threading the bobbin. Let's take it right back to the beginning. So keep your thread on there and we're going to follow the solid lines now. So we're going to go through there and around there, following these numbers. Excuse me, trying to do it back to front. Around the bottom like this and back up to top. So just follow that as arrows, walk it around and back down again. When you first start to thread, do make sure your needle's in the highest position. There's two ways of doing that. We can press this button here, which is our needle up and needle down button. So if I press that once, the needle's going to go down. And if I press that button again, the needle chomps up. I can also double check it on the side because on our flywheel, it has got a little ridge there. And as long as that's in line with that little groove there, then also that means that the needle's in the highest position. So do that before you start threading. So we've gone all the way around, back down to here. Now, number 6 is this little hook at the top of the needle. I'm just going to have to move the machine a little bit. So make sure you get your thread around that little hook there, like that, so it comes out to the side. And then we're going to thread the machine. So sorry if my fingers get in the way. It has got a needle threader, so we pull that all the way down, like that. Thread it through there, and try and come through the back so that my fingers don't get in the way for you. So let me just do that again, back to front. So like that. And the thread in front. And then through those little prongs there. The trick is to hold the thread out the back just a little bit. And then when you let that go gently, you'll see it's giving you that loop at the back that we can then pull through. Okay. I'm going to do that one more time just to show you. So what you do, make sure you've got it through there. Pull that lever down all the way down and you'll see that comes out. And then we're going to hook it around there, through those, in between those little teeth, and then just gently let go and it gives you that loop out the back, and then you can pull that through. Okay, so it's just a little bit of getting used to. The thing is to stop and just to sit there and do it a few times and you'll be fine. So leave the thread hanging to the top. So we've done that. I'm just raising the foot so I can get to where the bobbin is. On the top here we've got a little arrow that shows us, and we pull that across and this clear plastic bit will pop off. With bobbin already in there, most machines come with one bobbin in there. You're going to take your bobbin and you're going to follow the diagram that's in there to make sure that it's going the correct way around. So I'm just going to drop that bobbin in, take the end of my thread, and I'm going to follow these arrows all the way around like this, and there's another blade in there and that will just trim the end. So when I pull that, it's cut the end of the thread off. And that bobbin is ready to sew. And there we go. And that is your machine threaded. We don't actually need to do anything special like bringing the bobbin thread up like we used to. The machine is actually now ready to sew as it is. We don't need to worry about where those threads are. I'm going to just put my fabric underneath, lower the foot down. I'm going to turn it just onto a straight stitch, and we'll do another little video to follow in a minute talking about stitches and everything. But just to get you going, you should then be able to put your foot on the pedal, and there you go. Every time you stop, the needle will automatically be in that down position for you. Stop there, it ends down. And again, it's always ending down, which means that we can lift our foot and turn around to do those corners without having to worry. Every time, needle down. When you reach the end, in another video we'll be able to show you how to do the knot, but if you just wanted to take your fabric out there, this button here will raise the needle up. So although you have a flywheel on the side that we could use, you don't actually have to use that one if you don't want to. You can just use this needle up, needle down. Just to run through the other ones, other features that are on there. So we'll put the needle back down. If you wanted to go backwards, this button here will go backwards. If you press it just once, it's going to go back one stitch, or if we hold it in, it's going to go back until I take my finger off it. This is the needle up, needle down that we looked at, and this is our start stop. So if you didn't want to use the foot pedal, I'm going to unplug the foot pedal now, turn my fabric around, just move that end there. And then this one is going to be our go. So this is our speed, so we can see it's going slow. So I'm not using the foot pedal at all. I can speed it up right out super fast. Whenever you want to stop, you press that same button, so that's start and stop, and that's only if you're not using the foot pedal. So I'm going to lift the needle, pull that one out. We can take it out, and there will be a little thread cutter on the side, like I did, and we can just cut our threads through there, and you'll be finished. And then what we're going to do is we'll come back and we'll do just a few more videos to show you how to use the different stitches and how to use some of the automatic features on the machine. But have fun with your machine. Thank you.